Hello, Andy.
Hello, teacher.
Okay, so we continue practice the structure. Where do you go and how do you go to? Okay?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one. Where do you go? Where do you go to?
I go to school.
Yes. Number 2. Where do you go to?
I go to the bookstore.
Yes, very good. And number 3. Where do you go to?
I go to the water parks.
Yeah, that's good. And where do you go to?
I go to the playground.
Yes. And where do you go to?
I go to the shop.
Coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
I go to the coffee shop.
I go to the coffee shop.
Where do you go to?
I go to
I go to my English class.
I go to my English class.
And where do you go to, Andy?
I go to
The
the
convenience store.
convenience
Convenience.
store.
Okay? Like Winmart, okay? Like Winmart or Circle K or Mini Stop or 7-Eleven, okay? And next one, where do you go to?
I go to the supermarket.
Okay, where do you go to?
I go to Saigon.
And where do you go to?
I go to Singapore.
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 I go to Singapore.
I go to Singapore.
And where do you go to?
I go to the
What's that? The palace? Palace.
I go to the palace.
Yes, and where do you go to?
I go to the island.
Yes, I go to the islands. And okay, and how do you go to school?
I walk to school.
Okay, and how do you go to the bookstore?
I go to the bookstore
By?
by bike.
Yes, that's good. And how do you go to the water park?
I go to the water park by train.
Yes, and how do you go to the playground?
I go to the playground by motorbike.
Yes, and how do you go to the coffee shop?
I go to a coffee shop by taxi.
How do you go to your English class?
I go to English.
I go to my English class
I go to my English class
by
by
scooter or by electric bike.
electric bike.
Yes, okay, again.
I go to my English class by
Electric bike.
electric bike.
Okay, number 7. How do you go to the convenience store?
I go to the
Convenience store.
convenience store
By?
car.
Okay, and how do you go to the supermarket?
I go to the supermarket by
Scooter.
scooter.
Again.
I go to the supermarket by scooter.
And how do you go to Saigon?
I go to Saigon by
Sleeper bus.
sleeper bus.
Yes, again.
I go to
I go to Saigon by sleeper bus.
Saigon by
By.
sleeper bus.
Okay, how do you go to Singapore?
I go to Singapore by plane.
How do you go to the palace?
I go to the palace by van.
How do you go to the island?
I go to the island by ship.
Okay, thank you very much.